Hello everyone, and welcome back. It's a cold day here in Minnesota. It's a good day to make some sausage. It's been years since I made sausage. Melissa got me a grinder for Christmas, so I don't have to use my homemade one, so this will be much more professional than when I did it last time, but it's been a long time. So I'm going to make some snack sticks. I wanted to try them. I've never made those before. I might do some breakfast sausage, might do some bratwurst. I'm not real sure, but I'm going to grind up 25 pounds of meat, and then we're going to go from there. This is not going to be a how-to video, because until I do this, I don't know how to. I've never used that grinder right there. I've never made sausage with a sausage stuffer. I always stuffed it right out of the grinder itself, so it'll be all kind of new to me. This meat is really cold. It's even partially frozen in some places, but it said I want to do it when it's real cold, so I have about 19.5 pounds right there of venison and beef. So now I'm going to cut up 5.5 pounds of pork and pork fat. Well, I have the 25 pounds of meat all cut up into cubes now. It did say to have it about 20% or a little bit more of the pork fat, pork or pork fat it said, so I'm right at that, right around that 20%, so we should be doing good. So now it's time to grind it. First we're going to grind it through the coarse plate, which is like a 1/4 inch, and then we're going to drop it down to the, I think it's a 3, I don't know what it is. Anyway, there's the coarse one and the fine one. We're going to do the coarse first, then run it through the fine. I saw this trick on a YouTube video to get the last bit of that meat out. They said put bread down there. It'll push the rest of the meat out. As soon as you get the bread, then you stop. There we go. Well, now I'm going to switch the plate out here to the fine one. The double grind is all done now. I put the 2 containers of the ground meat into the refrigerator. Everything's washed right now, so next step will be doing the seasoning, and right now I think I'm going to have some lunch. So I took the seasoning here and I split it in half because it was for 25 pounds. So each one of these now weighs identical. I put it on the scale here and got them exact. And now I'm just going to do the same thing with the cure. Now I'm going to add this here to 1.5 cups of distilled water, and then I'm going to mix that all into 12.5 pounds of meat. Well, it said to mix it all in for about 6 minutes or until it gets real tacky and kind of binds together, which I did at about 4 minutes, but I still probably mixed it for a total of maybe 7 minutes, and it's really mixed good. It gets so sticky that when you have your rubber gloves on, it'll pull the gloves off, so eventually you're just in there with your hands. I think next year I might, if I like this, I might buy one of those, the regular meat mixers. I think that would come in really handy. Alright, well, now I'm out here. The casings are totally different than when I used to do it years ago. We used to soak them and feed them onto the tube and everything, so this has come pre-formed. You just slip it on. Some of them have a little piece of plastic that you pull out. This didn't. So anyway, I've never done this before, but I did watch half of a couple of YouTube videos, so I should be a professional. We'll see what happens. I find that it almost goes easier if you just crank it faster and just go with it. Keep a slight amount of pressure on here so it just fills it. When you go slow, it tends to, I don't know, it's like you're just wasting too much time on it. Well, looks like the first 5 pounds is about done here. That's actually about, I suppose you get a little more out of this, but I'm using these casings that came with the actual snack stick kit, and I had forgot that I also ordered these, which are smoked. I think they're collagen or whatever casings. I already have another one loaded to do it like this here, but this looks more like a snack stick, so if I'm gonna, when I do this again, I probably would automatically start with the darker ones. You might as well make it look like something you buy in the store. Well, I got them all up here on the smoker rack now, but this teaches me something. I want to make them a little bit shorter so they fit on here a little bit better. I think for this last batch I'm going to try these smoked ones. I'm not sure, but these might even be a little bit smaller. The other ones didn't say what size they were that came with the snack stick kit. This one here I ordered 21 millimeter ones, so, or maybe these were 19. What were these? These are 19 millimeter ones, so maybe they will be a little smaller. I have all of them loaded into the smoker. I've got both hot plates on because it's only, right now it's around 0. I don't think it got above 6 degrees today. And the temperature is dropping, so I'm going to leave this in here for 3 hours, and then after that I'm going to bring it inside and we're going to finish it in the oven. I just have the meat sensor shoved in the little drilled hole that I have in the door in the smoker. You can see it's running right around 122 or so. So pretty soon, it's been in for 2 hours. At 3 hours I'll pop it into the oven in here. Once we put it in the oven, I read those directions and it said put your oven on 180 degrees and put the probe in one of the sausages, and when it hits 158 is when it's finished. So some of this won't take long because that 121 or 22 degree reading is at the top of the smoker. It's going to be much hotter down at that bottom row, so some of it will be already fairly close. Well, I'm going to start pulling these out one at a time and putting them in the oven at 180. The smoker right now is running at 145 degrees. That's up here. I'm going to take the top one out, the top ones out first because they were that already smoked casings. That'll let these get a little bit more smoke coloring. Let's put this probe in one of these just to see. This is the top, so it'll be the coolest one, but just supposed to put it in the center like that. Well, it looks like we're somewhere around 95 degrees in there, so oven is preheated, so we'll just wait till they want 158. I don't know, I'll just go 158, 160, right around there. Well everyone, it's a couple of days later. The snack sticks, I did get them done. I got them all done that night. They got finished just before midnight. Well, then I had to get me some sleep, and then I woke up the next day and I still had half of that ground meat ready to go. So then I made breakfast sausage and bratwurst. After I got all those made and put in the smoker and smoked for a few hours and then packaged and into the freezer, that day was pretty much shot. And then, so I didn't finish this video yet then, and then today I got up and Zach and I went out ice fishing. It's really cold out there today, but we had a pretty good time. Caught a couple of nice fish. This bigger one right here is exactly 30 inches long. That's a nice northern pike. So anyway, there's been a lot of time for people to try these snack sticks. I gave a package to my mom and dad, a package to Emily and Jason. Xander came down here and he's ate a few of these. I gave a package to Zachary for him and Samantha today. Everybody loves the snack sticks. So I ended up, I had that, what was it, 12 and a half pounds of meat, and it made roughly 100 snack sticks when it was all finished. And I just took 4 of them out of the freezer here. I still have 8 in the freezer, and I'm going to try to not have all of them eaten before I go to Louisiana, so I can bring at least 4 or 5 packages down to have with Melissa. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. I'll see you guys on the next video.